I really hope we are. Live stream. Okay, so this is a little announcement video. There's not really a stream to it. I have to adjust the name. Yes, my daughter's talking. Okay, there we go. So, this is, like I said, an update video for everybody. Real quick, I've been super busy. Like I said, having a kid takes up a lot of time. I'm sorry. Uh, and I am now doing like a weekly Dungeons and Dragons campaign, and I'm the GM, so I have to like prep for that, or at least it should be weekly. We had a busy week. We went the one week we couldn't get together for the campaign. The following week we went to the Magic Grand Prix, I believe. That's right. We had the campaign, then it was Father's Day, then we went to the Magic Grand Prix, and this weekend was the 4th. So it was really hard to like keep up on uploads lately and plan around. Kitmits89 also works overnight. I am a dad. I'm taking care of my tyke. She's in her little chair. You can't see off screen right now. So it's been hectic. Right now I am going to get together the vlog. The vlog consists of me showing the amount of players that were around and like my deck tech and what I played and my record and stuff. I could not really get anything besides a photo with the pros and only one pro, and I got to talk to another. So it was really difficult. It's also intimidating to go up to them and talk to them, believe it or not, because they're so busy and they crowd together, and it's difficult to want to go and talk to them casually whenever they're like not people I idolize, but people I definitely look up to and listen to. So I'm not saying I was like chicken or anything, but it was more or less like I had to find an opportunity to pull them aside, and I couldn't do that because everybody was playing in the main event or side events. So the best I did is I got a photo with Brad Nelson, which is really cool, and got to talk to him a little bit about because we were both kind of playing the same deck. And I'm pretty sure we both came to the same conclusion. I read his one article, and I'm like, yeah, I disagree with him because all weekend I wish I had been on Bant Company. I dislike Green White for those who follow Magic. As far as Vanguard goes, that's what this next segment's going to be. We haven't kept up on it, and I'm sorry about that. I know I'm primarily known as a Vanguard tuber, and that is something that I plan on trying to make happen here in the closer future. It's just uh, with the way the schedule's set up, we get to pick potentially every other week whenever we can travel. The Grand Prix messed up whenever we can travel because that was our big event. We had to go 2 hours to Pittsburgh. Normally we travel an hour to what we call our Greensburg trip. Um, and we didn't get a chance to go out for Vanguard for a while because of the Force of Will TCG. And then not everybody's showing up for the Force of Will TCG, and it's like pulling teeth for the events for that. And that locals is more difficult, and I had to also work the one Monday for going to the Grand Prix. And normally I'm off Mondays and Tuesdays, so I can make Vanguard or Force of Will. So that's kind of my schedule. It's a little bit hectic. I should be back on track. I'm going to try and make July focus on Vanguard. The problem is because we're investing less and less, because as you can hear why, the little one back here talking, we have to start thinking about that kind of thing, and we had to save up for our Grand Prix trip and for the hotel and everything. Um, Plus, like a few things that we bought at the event, artwork and what have you, a cool dice bag and stuff. Plus entries for the events and playing in the events. So we were strapped for cash. Um, it's not an excuse. It's just we planned this big trip. It happens once a year. This is a format we could both play in, and so we went. And it was really fun. It was Kimmets and I's 8 years, and we had a blast. Even though I didn't do well in anything, she won her wacky drafts. We both dropped from the main event because we couldn't make day 2, which that's in the video that's going to be coming up soon. Sorry that that's been delayed for like a week and a half now. It's just, like I said, I've been super busy with family events and everything else, and Kimbit's working overnight makes it really hard. Anyone who works overnight probably understands that. So I'm making this like announcement video, update video. It's live stream right now. People can go back and watch it. And it's just like, I have a life now. You know, I didn't have a kid before. Not that it's anything different. She's a blessing. I love her to death. But like, they change your life. Um, you know, and I mean, I could try and live stream more. Also, I did include, like, in this video and in my live stream videos, that I do have my gamer tag, that if you want to add me on Xbox, I play Warframe a lot lately. I've been with a friend of mine from Canada that I've known for years. Feel free to join us if you want to install Warframe and try it out and play it if you don't already. And I try to jam some Overwatch games, but that's harder to, like, find groups with a little bit together on Xbox, unless there's a way to do it and keep consistent parties. I haven't figured that out because I just get into random matches and play. Um, just to go and try and grind and get loot boxes or what have you, but I haven't been doing a lot of that lately, despite... Hi! She's really excited. She's playing with her one toy. Hi! Are you enjoying your bird? Yeah. As you can see, distraction. And she shouts, she's like, "Hey Dad, what are you doing?" So it's just been busy. Like I said, I picked up the D&D campaign because my buddy came back from the military and has been talking to me since like March, April about getting together, and rightfully so. You know, and we finally got together like in June, just for how things fall. I mean, I've been, me and also my best friend, like since high school, we're supposed to get together on Tuesday. Yesterday, yeah, and it didn't happen because of 4th of July stuff transferring over to the next day, family stuff together, and it's just hectic. Like, I have a nephew, and I have a daughter, and I work 4 or 5 days out of the week, and Kitmits works 8 days and then has 6 off. But during those 6, we're usually trying to run around and do things. So it's a complicated schedule. It's not as smooth as it was before. For that, I apologize. I will try and get video content, but it's not going to be as consistent as it was before, like stand-up Saturdays and stuff like that. I will try and schedule more live streams. I really wish Cardfight Online would hurry up. Because that is the absolute easiest thing for me to do, is stream Cardfight Online. It worked amazingly on my stream. Hearthstone freezes up for some reason. I'm not sure why. You know, MTGO like has problems, and that also costs like real life dollars to play. It's not like earn as you go or anything like that. So it's more and more difficult to make those find a game that works as nicely as Cardfight Online did. So I hope they keep the simplicity for streaming, because that just worked fabulously. Like, it's hard for me to record Hearthstone without it freezing. It's hard for me to... And I have a gaming computer. That's the ridiculous part. And I mean, I'm using the most updated version of... what is it? Xstream or whatever it is. XSplit. Yeah, XSplit Broadcaster. So that's what I mean. So it's hard for me. Like, I just want to stream Cardfight Online all the time for you guys, and it's going to be a lot easier for me to invest in that than having to travel an hour away to play Vanguard. As much as I love to, it's hard with a schedule. Like, we have to make sure we have everything for Sophia, my daughter. We have to make sure that we have everything going, and so on. And that's been why there's been a lack of videos, is because, like, life exists now. Like, I'm 30 years old, guys, you know. I'm not saying that's an excuse. I'm going to be a card player for life and a gamer for life, but, like, I'm 30 years old. Sometimes, you know, I can't stream certain things because I don't feel like streaming Hearthstone all the time, because there's 1,000,001 streamers. I want it to be the card fight guy. It's fun. It's easy to get games in for that. It's easy to get the quests in, and I mean, it's like summer 2016, and we played back in what, like February or something? I can't remember. You think they'd have an update or something for us? And because like I basically quit Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm not going to stream Duelist Network. And from what I hear, they had to remove the artwork and stuff anyway. So they're getting in like more and more trouble. So really, the only thing I can record is Card Fight, but then it'd be like I said, it'd be like Kagero and Royal Paladin, or like Kagero versus Oracle Think Tank, or Oracle Think Tank versus Link Joker. Like, it's just the same kinds of decks that we've had for a while that I've already recorded. I mean, I do plan on trying to get the Legend deck up and everything, but that requires Kipmits to be in the mood to card fight and everything. And it's just like the new stuff isn't interesting me, or doesn't hold my interest as much as the older stuff did. I like the G regulation format, but from what I hear, Griffin is just like breaking the format for Kagero. So, I mean, that doesn't sound fun. Like, yeah, okay, I play Kagero, but it still doesn't sound fun for my opponent. When I'm dropping Griffin and retiring like their best rearguard unit and stopping things, it doesn't seem fair to me. But it is what it is. That's Bushiroad's direction. It's a power creep game, and that's that. And Force of Will keeps like errataing things. It's like how Buddy Fight started off, and then they like continuously changed the rules and modified everything, and said like you can do this, and then now you can't do this, and all this other crap. And like that deterred me away from playing it. And I mean, Force of Will is kind of going the same direction. And I hate whenever these companies come out with a game that looks really promising, and they're so focused on the storyline and what they want to do, they don't think about how it impacts the older cards. And that's why I've like generally stuck to Magic, because even though it has a horrible resource system and everything else, it focuses on balance. And Card Fight focuses on balance, but it's like you always have circulating clans that are just the most powerful. And that makes for repetitive card fights. Like, here's the new Kagero deck. Here's the new Royal Paladin deck. It's not like, oh, look, here's Murakumo, which, like, got stupid good, and Nubatama or Tachikaze or Spike Brothers, and they're top tier now, and they're crushing the Kagero deck, or they're crushing the Royal Paladins. Look how cool they are, guys. And that's been the issue. And it's not that card fight isn't fun. It's not card fight isn't interesting. It's just like, if I'm going to play the game, I want more interactions than what it offers, more interesting gameplay. And so far, because we have, well, I'll give you an example. We have a main character who uses Neo Nectar. Does she get anything? No, not really. Neo Nectars still are tier 2. It'd be really cool if they brought them into tier 1. But they're still tier 2. They still lose to the Kagero deck. They still will lose to the Paladin deck. They'll still lose to Gear Chronicle. And that's kind of been my issue with it lately, is that they don't have stuff that's super new and interesting and exciting. So that's sort of the problem with also wanting to get into it and really streaming for everybody, is that it would get repetitive and repetitive and repetitive. And I don't like giving up or putting up repetitive games. The other thing is I got a lot of slack about my one video, or two of my videos, one with Gear Chronicle and one with the Murakumo deck. They said like I messed stuff up. But I even said in the video or whatever, like, I don't use this clan, I might screw things up. It's probably bad moves, but I don't know how else to use it, and so on and so forth. And that kind of deters me away from using some of the fun clans, because I'm going to misplay them. I'm not going to play what I know. Like, I know Kagero. Okay, I know a bit about Narukami. You know, I know a bit about Link Joker, because those are the clans I play. I don't know much about, like, the, you know, Murakumo. I don't know much about Nubatama, because I don't play those guys. I know a little bit about Spikes, because I jammed that way back in the day whenever I didn't have much money, and that's the deck I put together. And I was able just to rush my opponent down, using Juggernaut or whatever. And that's kind of, that deters me away from playing these clans that are tier 2 that I don't know much about, or tier 3 or whatever, to make more interesting card fights. So it makes it me not want to invest as much. And not blaming anybody watching this stream or anything, but I've just had comments like, "Oh, you suck." Well, yeah, because I don't play it. I mean, I'm not. I've explained it to before. My channel is for fun, and that's why, like, when Cardfight Online becomes a reality, and I hope it does sooner over later, I will be putting up footage like crazy. You know, like, I enjoy putting content up. I like putting content up. And it'll be a lot easier to stream Cardfight Online because I'll be able to play clan, grind, get my goals in through the day, get more money, acquire, build different decks, and learn them on that platform. And if I lose with it, I lose with it. If I win with it, I win with it. I also like the fact that it's G-regulation format, so it's a lot less complicated. A lot of people aren't fans of G-regulation. I actually like it. I mean, I like the idea of Vanguard being a grade 3 game. I always have. I always thought it was cool the bigger and more powerful you could go and you could enjoy yourself. I mean, that's probably the control player in me. I'm the guy trying to cast things that cost 7 and 8 mana in Magic the Gathering. So yeah, that's kind of my whole thing with Cardfight. John, I'm not sure. Like, on Cardfight Online, it's G-regulation. I know some people complained about it, but I really enjoyed it. I like not having stupid old cards that make Sanctuary Guard Dragon like the best Royal Paladin deck. You could actually play Otmile and have fun. I wish it was a legitimate format in the United States. I'd play it all the time. That's just a personal preference. I like newer cards because they make things exciting. And that's just how I am. I've always been that way when the new exciting things came out. It's also equally why I quit Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I was tired of, like, looking at, you know, $200 cards that were being dumped into the game that you needed to have, and then people get mad at reprints, and it's like, well, you can't have both. You can either have the reprints, or you can have the $200 card. So that's why I kind of, like, split ways with Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I was tired of that. Then they were like, oh, reprints, and then everybody complained about reprints. And then Konami, like, was like, Konami, like, doesn't care about the ban list, blah, 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 and that's all I heard, and so I was like, I'm out. I was out after the Synchros and Zeal, for the most part. I tried to play in the Zeal format and then dropped out of it. I wish Cardfight would institute, some reprints. Like, yeah, I understand it sucks whenever they reprinted the Messiahs. Guess who has 4 of the Generation Rare Messiahs and spent good value on them? Yeah, this guy. I pulled one and acquired like the other 2 or 3 that I have. I think 3. And I'm not mad that the Messiah is getting a rare reprint. I think that's great because I want other people to be able to play that clan. I hate whenever high dollar amounts. Like, that's why I'm not playing Gear Chronicle. I love Chrono Jet Next Stage. I love Restanding Vanguards. I'm not dumping 180 and 180 is 86. $360 or more into a playset for next stages. I mean, and you want to run 4 in the in the format where we have 16 cards in our in our G zone. There's no reason not to. So, I mean, I'm not going to spend $360 just in G units. That's ridiculous. Like, Messiah was willing to, like, pull some punches. I had a bunch of trade-in I took to ARG, who was at the Force of Will thing that they had going on. Yeah, that's cool, John, but I don't mind that they're reprinting them. Like, even if I had the secret rares that I've dumped money on for Messiahs, I'm cool with that. I want players to pick up that deck and play it. I want them to learn different aspects of the game. I love reprints. I don't, but, like, you know, and that's my main issue with the overall game right now, is that the top tier decks are either unfun to play against, and Vanguard's supposed to be a fun, action-paced game. So it's like fun to have like your best rearguard attacking, and then they just Griffin it off the battlefield. Believe me, I love Griffin. as a Kagero control player, as a competitive person, if I'm taking Kagero to a big event, I want to retire your rear guards with my Griffins all night, all day, whatever. Okay, but it is unfun to play against. And that's kind of where Bushiroad, they kind of steered away from the fun factor. Yeah, I mean, everybody has to deal with, like, value drops. I spent 50 on the one, and pulled one from a box. I traded for another one, and I think it was around 70. And then whatever trade-in I had from my stuff that I traded in ARG, I mostly did Shadow Paladin stuff trade-in because I like traded 2 decks to get the Shadow Paladin deck, and then I traded the pieces off of Shadow Paladins into ARG because I had Revengers together, but I knew with the newer stuff they were going to be outdone, and I was 100% right. So that's that. And it's the other part to it, and I hate to be this guy, and sorry about the air quotes, but I hate to be that guy. I hate whenever a product comes out in so fast succession that you can't keep up with it. I understand that Bushiroad wants to release their trial decks into their Fighters collection, into their main collection, within like a month's time or 2 months' time, but that is a lot of product to get. Yeah, like, I mean, you can be competitive, but have fun in the game you're playing. Like, it's a game. Like, yes, it's competitive. You want to beat your opponent, and that's an awesome Spike mentality, and I encourage it. But don't be a jerk to your opponent. Enjoy playing the game. Not like, I attack with, like, my awesome Great Nature rear guard. He doesn't have any crits, but he's huge. He's going to hit whatever I want. And then you Griffin it away. Why am I playing Great Nature when Kagero exists? And that conversation starts to happen. And that's kind of my problem with Vanguard right now. That's why I like G-Regulation format. Because, like, they're introducing resist a lot more. It still doesn't, like, change Griffin. Griffin should be, like, a 2-of. And that's my opinion. Like, they should, if they're going to hit a card in Kagero, Griffin should be a 2-of. And it would be fine. The one that retires the back row is whatever. Like, that's fine. I know people are saying, like, it's busted, but it's fine. If I'm retiring your back row, it's fine. Because most of the time whenever I play Vanguard, I don't know about anybody else, but my opponents usually have, like, 1 or 2 in the back row at most. And it's not really doing anything. So, like, retiring that attacking rear guard that you may have put triggers on is more devastating than retiring your back row. I mean, it's just common sense. It's more card advantage, per se, because you have to give up 2 cards to kill the one with the Generation Guard for Griffin. And you can get a potential net +1 against your opponent's back row. Yeah. What Jean said, it mostly messes with the Revenge or Diablo decks. So what? It hurts one deck, whereas Griffith hurts every single deck that's rearguard reliant. And again, I hate rearguard reliant decks. That's not how I play Vanguard. I want my Vanguard to crush people. And that's how I play. But I understand that the people who are building a board like Neo Nectar, like Great Nature, like Aquaforce, they don't want their rearguard retired, and I think that's unfair. And they shouldn't have to have it. Or even like Nova Grapplers. So that's kind of why I've taken a back seat for Vanguard. Like, I'm hoping to see some resist units, so it's fair. Like, it's fine if your guy attacking in is pumped up and he has resist and you can't kill it, then you just have to guard it normally. You know, and I feel like different trial decks from the other clans. Yeah, I mean, if you're saying about, like, how they should do that, I agree. They definitely need to, like, expand upon what they're supporting. Me? I have Kagero Legend, which I still have to kind of, like, put together. Right here. And I got is this Messiah? No, that's Ezel. I had the Ezel deck that was showcased before. That was for fun. I know I have Messiah somewhere. I just don't know where. I did a massive cleanup to actually get the card playing table cleaned up. Are these shadows? No, okay. This is the Messiah deck. I'm fairly sure. Yeah, this is the Messiah deck. Kitmits has Oracle Think Tank and Otmar Royal Paladins. That's the other thing is, like, we're having troubles tracking down some of the Brave stuff because she likes the Brave mechanic. But again, it's not tier 1, so why play it? Like, I mean, we like what we like. We try to focus on that for the channel. And, like, you know, there's always that rogue-ish strategy that happens to do well. That's the other reason that I said before that I really like the G-Regulation format. It can be really super fun. You can play things like the Mile Brave strategy. You can build the Genesis Fenrir deck, and for it to actually be good. You don't get to, like, if in G-Regulation that it's everything from the newest generation up, you don't get to use the Legend. Or, not the Legend, the Great. You know what I mean? You might be able to use the Cross, because, in the end, because the end is its mate, you know, but that's how you get around it. So it would make people think a little bit more with G-Regulation format. And that's why I would encourage it. And I think if Bushiroad, because we have enough of an establishment, would make their tournaments different formats, and G-Regulation being the primary way to get to Worlds, that would be a smart idea. You know, you get to play, like, your side events or whatever. You get to play, like, your regional events on, like, the regular standard format. You get to play, like, the, what do they call it? Whatever the unlimited format is, whatever the eternal format is for Vanguard, that you get to play, like, any, like, mixed clans and all that. It's not regulated with a rule set. And I think that'd be cool. And if you want to, like, be competitive, you have to adhere to G-Regulation format, and it's that simple. Then your generation guards aren't as busted. You know, your damage on flippers aren't, I think, part of the game on every clan. No, they are. Never mind, they are. Protect Orb came in the new stuff. But, like, then it kind of pushes you into using, like, that kind of card, where you can only protect your Vanguard. You can't just mix-match Sentinels. And it kind of pushes, like, this format to, like, condense better and start, like, reformatting everything. And then within that, you can have a restriction list. And it's easier to regulate then and keep an eye on competitive play. But Bushiroad's getting around it by saying our game's a power creep game, so we're going to have a power creep exist. Bellogid? I'm not sure what you mean, John. Bellogid? Do you mean Griffin, the one that retires? Because if so, Arrestor Messiah goes... Let me read Arrestor Messiah. If it's upon the action of attacking, yes. If it has to, like, successfully attack, then no. It just depends. Arrestor Messiah. Okay, I'm not sure what you mean for the grade 1. But it says here, auto lock this unit at the end of the battle that this unit attacked the Vanguard. You may pay the cost if you do choose units in lock. So if this guy's not in play at the end of the turn at battle, which means it turns sideways and attacked the Vanguard, okay? So if this guy has to successfully attack, that means it has to be vertical, attacked, it doesn't have to hit, then you get to use its ability. So if it's not an on-attack trigger, like it gets a buff, well, I mean it does. It gets the plus 2,000, but it's not like other ones where it gets an on-attack trigger. So if it's retired by Griffith or whatever before it Griffith retires the unit like as it's attacking, so Messiah would not get its ability. If Belloc is the same thing, then Arrestor Messiah doesn't get it because it would be gone. It doesn't get an instantaneous, like, poof, I'm gone, and I lock things. It has to be turned sideways, have attacked, then it gets its auto ability to trigger. It's all about sequencing, and making sure that the card text is written the certain way. At least the way that's written, that's how it would work. So if Belloc retires at instant speed is what I'm going to call it, as it's attacking, then Messiah would not go off. And if you could do that at any given point, responses or whatever probably wouldn't go off. If it has like some kind of other wording, I can read Belloc for you. Belloc Vanguard. Lizard Soldier Belloc. BDBDB scroll. G-Break 1. When this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, choose one of your Vanguards in a battle. That unit gets auto Vanguard at the end of the turn this battle that this unit attacked. If the attack did not hit that battle, choose one of your opponent's Vanguards at rest and retire it. What are you asking? Was Arrestor... Yeah, but it says right here... Oh... Stop blinking out. Okay. When this unit's placed on Guardian Circle, so it's at the Guardian Circle, choose one of your Vanguards until the battle. At the end of the battle, that this unit was attacked and did not hit. At the end of the battle. Okay, this may not be correct, okay, but from the way I understand it, okay, Arrestor Messiah attacks, the Messiah player has priority to attack, okay, you attack, Lizard Soldier Belloc is guarding, and it says, okay, you didn't hit, you've attacked your sideways. I think Belloc trumps Arrestor Messiah. I think. Unless they do unless Vanguard includes player turn priority. If Vanguard includes player turn priority, that means you get the chance to lock your Messiah because they're both auto triggers, and you get to lock your Messiah if they do player turn priority. I don't know if Vanguard does. I know, like in Magic, you have to do something in order for your opponent to get an effect back. What new Gold Paladin stuff, Jonathan? Is there new stuff? Because if there is, I wasn't aware of it. I'm not trying to be like that guy, but I haven't been following Vanguard as much. Like I said, like I might do a live stream. Like this stream's just like an announcement video. I might schedule like a real live stream later because Magic Mike's is coming on in about 15-20 minutes, and I gotta check on the Tyke and get her ready for bed. I work 10 to 4 tomorrow, and then I'm all 8 to 2 until Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, I haven't looked at it. I've been more preoccupied with Magic lately because Magic is my locals. And it's not like I don't like Vanguard. It's just Vanguard isn't in a spot right now that interests me. Past the Legend deck and stuff like that, I haven't been super interested in. I mean, I'll probably try and schedule a live stream at some point and do a Q&A for everybody. This video is already really long. I just need at least like between 5 to 7 viewers roughly for a Q&A, or it won't be that long of a Q&A session, where people can just ask like whatever within reason. And like I said, it's kind of an announcement video into like a stream here, I guess. That's why I was mostly doing it to record a Q&A, and I'm glad you guys popped on. That's really cool. I didn't expect it. So for me though, like I said, it's a lot of time for Vanguard. It's a lot of time to put into it, to dedicate, because I have to move in, or not move, but I have to travel at least an hour away to go play Vanguard. And I'm not complaining about that, but like that's how I keep up on product. That's what encourages it. And it's easier to play Magic, but Magic is also more expensive to keep up with decks. Because like their boxes are $100 to $120 a piece, and you get 36 packs. So that's a little bit different than like Bushiroad product that I can get about $45, $50 a piece, plus shipping and handling, and drop like about $200 for 4 boxes of product, which translates into trades. The problem is that Bushiroad hasn't made anything alluring enough to trade to get what I need. Like I still need Titan, T-A-I-T-I-N, or whatever it is, and other things for the Kagero deck. I believe it's Mox Ruby, Jean, not Max Ruby, and I think Black Lotus is the most expensive card. But yes, all the pieces of the powered... Okay, sweetheart. All the pieces of the power are pretty expensive. The most expensive Magic card I own goes for about $160. So, and that's because I'm making Legacy. And then the most expensive card I will eventually own goes between $220 to $300. But again, it's Legacy. I'm alright with having a deck I work on over time for a format that is safe to invest in. It's not like I'm going to go and... You're just so excited. It's not like I'm going to, okay, invest in a format and then that format just disappears overnight. And the reserve list saves it. Yeah, like that's one of the cards in Magic for a Vanguard deck. And typically for standard Magic decks, let's see, I have the Jaces. They're still 35-40s a piece. I got them when they were dirt cheap. They shot up to like 80-90 and then dropped. But then like you need everything else, and Magic decks are around $250-$300 a piece. One moment. You want to be vocal, don't you? Alright, say hi. Say hi. You want to talk to them? Say hi. Are you camera shy now? Are you camera shy now? Yeah, you get in front of camera and you don't know what to do. It depends on the format and what kind of strategy you want to play. You want your drink? Right now, but we're on the verge of a new set. Standard is a rotating format. Standard means new cards will come in and out. Old sets won't be legal to use, and new sets will be. Okay? Alright, but standard decks typically go for around 300 to 350 if you're willing to invest. And you can have that standard deck, you can update it. Its playability value, it can be anywhere from like 2 to or a 3 month time period to the entire life of standard if it's a good deck. Because the new decks might change its value, or the new cards might change its value and its playability. I know Green White Tokens has been the best deck since Khans rotated, and Bant Company is like right up there with it. Bant is green, white, and blue. It's also getting like a significant boost with the new set coming out. I don't think Bant's going anywhere. I do think that green white might take a hit. I don't know how good it is. I haven't tested it with the new cards or anything like that. For modern format, where your cards won't rotate unless they ban cards, you're looking about roughly. Let's see. It depends on which deck you want to use. I'm using Jeskai Nahiri, and that deck I had to drop like $400 into 4 fetch lands. I traded in a bunch of Magic cards I had, for the record. I did not spend money on this. I'm not that rich. I just had a bunch of Magic cards that I could throw at our store owner that I just acquired over years and years of Standard and said, can you take these? If you mean the black-white control list, it depends on which version. Black-white control varies. If it has Sorin, Gideon, Anguish Unmaking, and so on, that's about a fair price for it. My Kitmits is actually on the black-white deck. She's been on black-white control. If you're talking about like something weird and wonky, I don't know if it was a fair price. If it had Sorens in it, Declaration in Stones, maybe Archangel Avacyn, Ob Nixilis, Gideons. The Gideons are $22 a piece. So if you like, the best thing to do is go to tcgplayer.com, type in the card you have, write down how many copies, and then total it up. And I would suggest the average price because that's what most people go by. And that will let you know if the 135 was worth it or not. That's the easiest way to do it. As I say, modern is different. Jeskai Nahiri is easily like a $900 to $1,200 deck. But like I said, I had a ton of trade-in. I only bought 2 Scalding Tarns, and one of them was discounted because I had cards to trade in. And I had like some of the other fetch lands and stuff available that I needed. But if you're building like a modern deck from scratch, the price range for a real competitive deck is anywhere between like $650 all the way to like $1,500. And that's just a reality. It depends on what version of the deck you want. We were pricing out Abs & Company, which is a deck that Kitmits was thinking about using, and it was easily reaching $1,200 to $1,300 whenever we were pricing it out. And that's a deck not used in Tarmogoyf. And Tarmogoyf is just like a $200 card. Roughly. But standard rotates. Like if it's a black-white deck for standard, it will rotate if it's standard format. If it's not in standard format, I'm not sure what to tell you and what you got. So that's what I'm getting at. Yeah, Legacy goes to like $2,000-3,000. Some decks go all the way up to like $17,000-18,000, depending on foils, depending on which version of the cards they have. Some Legacy decks can easily go up to the price of like a new vehicle. Oh, see you later, Sheriff. I'm gonna be heading off here soon too, because Magic Mike is starting, and this one's getting fussy. Yes, you are. So yeah, it depends on different things. Like I said, eventually I'm going to acquire a card. Yeah, Legacy's expensive. My buddy's deck that he's been working on is a Storm deck, and it's close to $6,000. My Legacy deck that I've been working on is probably going to be in the $2,800 range to $3,000 range. But the thing is about it, a lot of it I've done through trade-ins, which has helped. And my modern deck that I put together with more trade-ins, my modern deck transfers over into my Legacy deck. So I saved money that way, because I'm using the same fetch lands. I'm also not using, at least for the time being, I'm not using a ton of the dual lands, which the dual lands are $160 to $300 a piece, unless you use some of the cheap ones. And you can still use shock lands, but like sometimes in Legacy that 2 life points matters. Oh, hi Al. Hug. Squishified a baby. Squishified a baby. Squishified a baby. Yeah. She's talking to everybody. So it's because I've been invested into Magic for so long, that I just get consistent value over time, and because I just traded in a lot of my collections and stuff for my Legacy deck, I was able to do things. She's 7 months, going on 8. She's growing like a little weed. No, it's alright, Al. You're cool, man. So Modern and Legacy are expensive. It took a few years worth of Standard to afford it, because I had cards. And yes, I know, I'm doing like baby ups, but it gets her to calm down. Whee! It took me a few years to afford these decks, and like I said, I'm investing in them. I'm getting some good deals, but I'm giving you like the generic price if you'd buy it outright. Like if you look up the card Force of Will, the deck is running 4 of that, and that's kind of where you start whenever you go into Legacy. Lion King reference. Yeah. Whee! Whee! Alright, well, I'm going to wrap this up here soon. Like I said, I'll do a Q&A later. This is primarily an announcement video. I'll probably do one when Kitmits is off this upcoming week and I have some time. And I'm going to go watch Magic Mike's, get this little one ready for bed, and then I will talk to everybody more. Like I said, on the Q&A, and expect my Grand Prix deck tech and what have you to be part of the video. So that's like, I put them on the desktop. I'm ready to get that ready to go. Magic Mike's. Oh, Magic Mike's, not the movie. It's a podcast by Evan Irwin, Ruben Bressler, and Erin, and whatever her last name is. And it's like, because I don't know her last name, it's just because I forget it. It's like Campbell or something like that. and they talk about magic stuff, and it's really fun to watch. And they start that from like 11, they go into 12 to 12:15. They have a Patreon and all that stuff. Hey, free advertisement. It's twitch.com/Magic Mics if you guys want to go over and watch something. It's fun to listen to them. They're between competitive and casual, and they're super fun to watch, and they're entertaining. Mr. Orange Guy is Evan Irwin, and he's been doing the magic show. Hold on, Sophie, take your binky. He's been doing the magic show for like 10 years or something like that now, and he transferred to a sweet like weekly podcast. He also does like a really cool forbidden lore kind of thing. So alright, and she's getting really fussy. She's going to go lay down, and I will catch everybody later.